So in this video, I'm going to explain what bacterial conjugation is. So bacterial conjugation is essentially, it's just the transfer of genetic material between bacterial cells. But the key point about bacterial conjugation is that the cells are directly in contact by a pilus, which is essentially just like a bridge kind of thing, as you can see right here. This is a pilus. And it's pretty cool because bacterial conjugation is kind of similar to sexual reproduction because it involves the exchange of genetic material. So now let's talk about essentially how the conjugation occurs first. So as you can see in step 1, we have an F positive cell and an F negative cell. So the F is designating whether it has the F factor or fertility factor. And the fertility factor is essentially just a sequence of DNA that will allow for the sex pilus, which is this thing, to be made. So the pilus is really important because it'll essentially connect the two bacteria, and as a result, it'll make exchanging genetic information a lot easier. So anyway, let's get back to the step 1. So here we have the F positive cell, which has the F factor needed to create a pilus. So this is often referred to as the donor. And then this cell over here is a F minus cell, so it doesn't have this F factor. And then this F minus cell is called the receiver. And so we won't go into too much detail on this, but essentially all you need to know for this overview of conjugation is that the F factor here is going to get copied and made into this F minus cell in the end. So in the end, they're both going to be F plus cells. And then we talked about in previous videos how important bacterial conjugation was for antibiotic resistance. And so these plasmids or this F factor can also have other genes, for example, other antibiotic resistant genes. And then if it gets passed on to this cell, so if this F factor plasmid right here gets passed on to this cell and it has an antibiotic resistant gene, that means that in the end, both of these cells are going to have the antibiotic resistant gene. And so I want to briefly mention that conjugation is only one of many ways bacteria can transfer genetic information. We also have transduction, which is essentially the transfer of viral DNA into bacteria. And then we also have a process called transformation, which is essentially when the bacteria takes up naked DNA in its surroundings. And so I'll make more videos on that in the future. But for now, let's just stick with conjugation. And lastly, one thing I want to mention for conjugation is that it can be used to transfer genetic material. So it could be used in a laboratory setting, which is pretty useful. So that pretty much sums it up for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video and found it useful. If you did, please be sure to give it a like. If you have any questions, comment down below. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.